back to the Chris Rock situation. I saw this tweet and I kind of got upset. I got my feelings a little bit. I'm gonna tell you why I got my feelings a little bit. I kind of got upset. So we all know Will Smith slapped the shit out of Chris Rock last year. You feel what I'm saying? We know Will Smith slapped the shit out of Chris Rock last year. I cannot believe Kanye's posting. I don't care. I don't care. And so I was thinking to myself, like, a year later, was it worth it for Willard Smith? That's his name. It's not William. It's not Will.I.am. It's Willard Smith III. I think that's his name. I was thinking, was it worth it for Willard Smith? After a year, Chris Rock got smacked the shit out of, but Will Smith basically had to publicly neuter himself, apologize, accept the fact that his wife's affair with a significantly younger August Alsina had been made public, and star in a fucking slave movie just in order to be somewhat looked at as salvageable career-wise in the industry. Personally, I'm going to go ahead and say that Will Smith took the L on this one after a year of reconsideration. Now I'm looking at this tweet, though, and I also can't give Chris Rock the W. Like, they both took L's. Nobody, exactly. Definitely the feds, they both took the L. There was no dubs taken across the board. No dubs taken across the board at all. I was thinking to myself in my mind, like, yo, what the fuck?
Me personally, if you slap me like that, I'm shooting.
I don't think that response is going to hold up in the court of law, but you do your thing. Just know I'm never going to slap the shit out of you if that's going to be your response. I'm going to just shoot you first, dumbass nigga. Fuck is you talking about? Thanks for letting me know the plan. I'll beat you to it. My bad. I didn't mean to say all that. But what I'm trying to say is, when I looked at the situation the first time around, I thought that Will Smith had enough conviction to stand on what he did the first time around. Had Will Smith never came out and offered a public apology to Chris Rock after he smacked the shit out of him, quote unquote, for Jada's love, I'd have been cooling on this side. I would have never looked at bro weird at all. Because I'm like, you did something and then you stood on it. You did something and you stood on it. It is what it is. Maybe people didn't like the way you reacted. Maybe they didn't like your response. But you know what? You did something, and now you're dealing with the consequences. And that's just what it is. But then I got to thinking about Chris Rock, and I'm like, yo, this man walked up, fixed himself to get out of his seat, thought I was such a bitch-ass nigga that I was going to let him walk from his seat to the stage in front of all these folks, all my peers. This is a professional setting for me. This nigga think he could walk up here, slap the shit out of me, and just get away with it? And he did. And he did. And Chris Rock, with this response, let Will Smith know that the biggest consequence for walking up on stage, getting out of your seat, slapping the shit out of me for making a G.I. Jane joke about your wife, your cheating wife, is some jokes that any nigga who could have come to my defense could have came up with. That was the biggest consequence for Will Smith had bro just not apologized. That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm about to show you what he said. Oh, shit. Hold on. I'm going back. I don't want old girl to come to pop up real quick. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Here we go. This is what he said.
Called him a bitch and called his wife a predator. Everybody called him a bitch. Everybody. And who's he hit? Me. A nigga he know he could be. That is some bitch ass shit.
Chat, let me ask you a question. If a nigga who has such a quote unquote physical advantage on you, if a nigga walks up to you and smacks the shit out of you, even if you know you can't beat them, even if you know you're gonna get the shit beat out of you, are you going to fight back? I'm creaming and leaving. Not if I'm on live TV. That's a point. That's a fair point. That's a fair point. Maybe you don't want to embarrass yourself. Maybe it gets worse after the smack. What if you go in, go with a punch, niggas see it coming, and then knock you out after the smack? Now you look crazy on live TV. It could go even worse. You think the slap is the worst? Boom, here come the fist. Crazy. Who knows? Who knows? But what I will say, Will, you see what I did? You see what I did, Will?
Yo, see, man.
See what I did, Will? Hey, what's up? All I can say is a nigga walks up on stage during your work hours. You on stage in front of all these folks. This nigga, you was clocked in. And the nigga walked up to you and smacked the shit out of you. And a year later, this is all he got to deal with. If I'm Chris Rock, I'm thinking about this until I'm shitting on Will Smith until the day he die. I completely understand why Chris Rock would have some static for Will Smith, but there is nothing that Chris Rock can say out of his mouth to rid us of the moment that you let a nigga walk 18 feet from his seat to smack the shit out of you.
You slap my Harvey, nah chill.
I'm sorry. You might be completely right on that. Will Smith might be a complete bitch for what he did.
And I don't care if I lose the fight letting a man smack me, I'ma get my revenge somehow. If I have to F his mom or grandma for the revenge any means necessary. Give mom more back pain before age do.
What the fuck? All I'm saying is, he'd have been better off doing what Jim Carrey said. Suing the fuck out of him. At least get you a cool $100 million for pain and suffering damages. You might be able to take it to the next level and get something even crazier out of it if you know how to play the mental side right. Didn't Sean get pressed by a 5'4" fan and did nothing about it? First of all, nigga didn't press me. All right. That's the first thing. He just came up aggressive behind me, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck? As soon as I turned around and revealed my posture, fully formed, chest out to him, nigga backed up. Whole energy shifted. So I don't even want to hear that. Especially not from Traz's bitch ass. I don't even want to hear him talking. Like, what are you saying? Right, when I fully embraced my masculinity in front of dude, he backed off. He bagged back. So I don't even know what you're talking about, number one. Number two, though, I'm looking at this situation, and I felt bad for Chris Rock because of this caption. I think being slapped and standing there doing nothing, then hiding out of embarrassment for a year, coming back and saying this is actually way more bitch-ass nigga activity, but to each their own. That made me feel bad for Chris Rock. I don't agree with her either. Because really, what do you want Chris Rock to do? What is he supposed to do? After Will Smith smacks the shit out of him and goes back to his seat claiming it was for Jada after it gets revealed that, you know, all this other stuff had happened. What is he supposed to do? Check my bookmarks real quick? Nah, I'm good, gang. That's what I'm saying. He's a comedian. I don't know what else he's supposed to do. It's a lose-lose for Chris Rock. I got to thinking about it a year later. I'm like, yo, that's kind of crazy that this happened, but like, was it justified? Knowing that the slap might not have been in Jada's defense the whole time? I don't think so.
It's a damn if you do, damn if you don't situation.
Because before Will Smith had apologized, I thought about it and I'm thinking to myself, yo, if he did this completely for his wife's defense because he knows in a dark place and in a secret place how hard it's been for his wife to deal with her hair loss, I completely understand. I could kind of commend it. Do I agree with it on a professional standpoint? Nah. But do I get where you coming from when you're trying to protect your wife? Cool. Yeah, I do. But after learning that it might have probably been about his own insecurity, his own lack of masculinity, his own, you know what I'm saying, view of himself and how he's supposed to do this and how he's supposed to be this, when I figured out that it was probably more about himself than it was about his wife, I got back to thinking like, yo, that's not really justifiable. Like, he really got smacked because of your own ego. Your wife didn't even reap the benefit of why you don't even know why you smacked the nigga for real. It revealed too much, and now it's just like L's all around. No dub for Willard, who had to star in a slave movie to get back on his feet. No dub for Chris, who's still bringing it up a year later, but will never have no peace about it unless he go up to Will Smith's house with a camera on Instagram Live and smack the shit out of him back. There's just no dubs for nobody across the board. But I don't think either of them should be shamed. I think it's a very big thing about insecurity for Will Smith. And on Chris Rock's side, I don't think he will ever be able to fully get back. Like, he'll never be able to fully get back. So it's just, he's got permanent PTSD/trauma, and Will Smith, I don't know. I hope that Will Smith finds peace, and I hope that Chris Rock finds peace. You know what I mean? But I think the only way Will Smith can find peace is if he gets a divorce. I'm gonna be honest. Your whole relationship come out like a joke. It's crazy. Chris took the W. I don't think there's a single person holding the W in this situation. Not Will, not Jada, and not Chris Rock. There's no dubs being given in any of these situations, brother. It's all bad. It's all bad. It's all bad. If I was I'm gonna be honest. If that was in Brazil, one of the would be already on a tee. Yeah, that's true. Well, that's why I'm not going to Brazil. Sean think he Judge Mathis. Tristan, you know you need consent to suck my dick, right?
I blame this all on Jada TBH.
I don't. It's all about Will Smith's insecurity, bro. If you had a problem with your wife getting down and dirty with a significantly younger man, you should have divorced her back then. Don't try to make up for it years later after niggas call you weird and a bitch and basically a cuck. You know what I mean? That's not Chris Rock's fault. If you holding on to that whole time, and that's part of the reason why you went up there and slapped the shit out of him to let niggas know that you're not really as soft as they keep saying that you are, you need to handle that shit internally. Why Chris Rock got to deal with the ramifications of that? You know what I mean? But that's just how I feel. I hope he's doing better though. But that was probably the highlight of that Chris Rock special. I don't really want to go watch it, but that was probably the highlight of it, which sucks.